Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Diz Unlimited podcast. This is episode 65, and today we are talking about all the updates for Disney parks that we got out of South by Southwest, including a first look at some Cars Land developments for Magic Kingdom, and a brand new version of Smuggler's Run that will include Grogu and the Mandalorian. That, and we'll be, I think maybe if there's time, we're going to be talking about our sailing on the Disney Fantasy. I'm not sure if we'll get to that or not. Maybe we will. But there's that, and who knows what else is going to happen on this show. It's always a little bit crazy. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Rhino, the executive producer of the visual and audio things that we do here at the Diz. Joining me today for this fun Disney news and discussion episode is Dreams Unlimited travel agent Hannah Anderson.
Hey, girl, hey.
And theme park correspondent Chloe Ferrara.
Hey, howdy, hey.
I don't know why I chose that weird accent to introduce you. Chloe Ferrara. Chol Ferrara.
Chol, yeah, there we go. Chol.
Chol.
Yeah, that's our... It's the worst inside joke we've ever had, is that we had a blooper in one Universal episode where we said Hana, and now it became Hana and Chol.
Chol.
From IKEA, here to build your furniture. Just as completely offensive as humanly possible.
Yeah,
but,
maybe a little bit.
Just letting everyone know that this podcast and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all of the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free, no obligation quote today. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. If you want to learn more about how you can get exclusive content from different members of the Diz team like myself, Chloe, or Hannah, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. And over there we do a Patreon post show. Sometimes it's a pre-show. Depends on how the morning goes. This one was a little bit more stressful, so it will be a post show, which we'll be doing live immediately following this broadcast. I don't even think we're going to take a break for lunch because we have a little special lunch place we want to go to today.
Very special.
It's very special. It's somewhere Hannah hasn't been, and I don't want to talk about it on this show because guess what? It's none your business. Just kidding. That was rude. That was aggressive. I apologize for my outburst right then. I'm getting my notes in order. We have a lot of I don't even want to get into it yet. How was your weekends?
Good.
Yeah.
I went to the Plant City Strawberry Festival on Sunday, if no one's ever been. I've been wanting to go for years, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. Don't go.
Wait, for your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Who was performing? Did you see a concert?
Yeah.
It was someone from Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Sweet.
But I had heard Reba was there, and I had heard the Beach Boys were there with John Stamos, but concert tickets are expensive. Okay, but listen, I think I'm just a little spoiled when it comes to theme parks and how much fun and food you can have with a set amount of money for a day. And after $20 parking, $15 flat admission, we went to Publix to try and get discounted tickets, which they were sold out the morning of. Great.
Convenient.
All the food was super expensive for what it was, and it's the same food over and over again. We waited in an hour-long line for a corn dog that wasn't really worth it.
Oh no.
And then the rides.
An hour? Jeez,
yeah. Then the rides are so expensive. Like the only one I really cared about doing was like the strawberry spinner ride because it was cute, but I didn't feel like spending the tickets for it. Anyways, the Haunted Mansion.
I saw
ever
your
heard of
picture.
it?
What was that?
The art was great. It was a classic carnival haunted house, but it was literally just a black shoebox with static ghost figures with like purple lights on them.
Amazing.
Not scary at all. Not even like kitschy fun. It was a ripoff. It was $10 for the ride. So after we added everything up, we're like, we could have gone to Epcot and enjoyed some flowering gardens. So that's what we're gonna do this week. Yeah, Hannah, how was your weekend?
How many?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dick Van Dyke. That's my best Saving Mr. Banks impersonation. Olivier is one of the great.
There you go.
Olivier. How many deep fried items did you eat? Just the one?
We had a deep fried cheddar cheese stick, which reminded me of Corn Dog Castle at Disneyland.
Yeah.
We had a corn dog that reminded me of the corn dog cart at Disneyland. We did have pickle pizza, which that was like the
Ooh.
winner.
Fancy, you
Yeah,
say.
it was like a white garlic sauce, lots of cheese, and then thinly sliced pickles with some dill seasoning.
sounds
That was the
Dill's
highlight
having
of
a
the day.
moment.
Wait, did you get strawberry shortcake?
I did. My friend waited in line
Okay.
for strawberry shortcake while we did the Haunted Mansion. It sounds so funny to call it that because it's literally called the Haunted Mansion. And then we also got a refillable strawberry cup, which was cute. But I was expecting more Knott's Berry Farm, less local carnival fare.
Oh, honey, no.
There wasn't a whole lot of strawberry themed stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I was dressed up for it, and it's okay.
It's weird they call it a strawberry festival because I feel like you just buy the strawberries on the way out.
Yeah.
You're just like, here we go.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
they have like
carnival.
some, art that's submitted in some of the expo halls. But yeah, I mean, I've been a lifelong Floridian, and I didn't know that Plant City was like the strawberry capital of the world. Like, I love strawberries, so I learned something new. I feel immersed in my culture. So
My culture.
My
my
culture,
Florida
my
strawberry culture.
She was born in that strawberry shortcake, the game. The doll, whatever. Anyway, Hannah, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun?
Sunday I went to Flower and Garden, and that was great. It was hot Sunday. I couldn't believe it. It felt like summertime almost.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I know. But Flower and Garden is popping this year, guys. I think this might be like the best year it's had in recent memory. All the topiaries look better, fresher, bigger. The Moana topiary at the front of the park is
Doesn't that
stunning.
like light up too?
I didn't stay late enough, but it's huge and it's very detailed. Like, it's all plants, very impressive, very cool. Food, I had some really good food items. I'm just gonna say it. That trio of dips might be the best thing that ever happened.
Don't
to me.
pre-review stuff. We're going this week.
Well, too late. I
Yeah.
wrote the article.
That's what she texted me too. She was like, "Girl, those dips." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but I can't wait."
got up in that Chili's. Like, they're good. So yeah, it was a great time.
Well, that's good. For anybody wondering, we will be going to cover that this week. We were on the Disney Fantasy this last week. This weekend, I spent basically just laying down in bed because the weather was so bad. The windy. It wasn't that the weather was bad. It was just so windy. The ship was rocking so much that I just had vertigo issue. It felt like the ship was moving the last 2 days of the weekend. So all day Friday, I was knocked out. Saturday wasn't great. Sunday, I finally felt like a normal person. And yesterday, I only had 1 or 2 episodes of oh God.
I still feel like I'm moving today. Even
The equilibrium on that is awful, and we didn't get to go to Castaway. It's a whole thing. I did not enjoy myself on this cruise very much either, so I'll save that
you
for
did
when we finally have that
sometimes.
discussion.
Yeah,
there was a
sometimes.
couple highlights,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to pretend and lie to you. I would not recommend this cruise to anybody. But more on that later. Right now, we are going to move into our news section because we have quite a bunch of updates about Disney parks here. So, sorry, I'm going to get my announcer voice on.
Ooh.
South by Southwest, the annual Austin, Texas festival happening now through March 15th, showcases the best in film, music, and interactive media, and this year chose to spotlight the future of experiential storytelling at Disney parks. I got a little picture of the two gentlemen here that it was hosted by. That is Disney Experiences Chairman Josh D'Amaro and Disney Entertainment Co-Chairman Alan Bergman, along with some special guests as well, led a panel called The Future of World Building at Disney. Josh and Alan showcase how Disney Experiences and the Walt Disney Studios collaborate to create highly immersive experiences that allow guests to enter their favorite Disney stories. From films inspiring park attractions to parks influencing future films, this dynamic partnership continues to bring Disney magic to life in new and exciting ways. And with that, we got a bunch of updates and new looks at some in-development projects coming soonish to Disney parks. And here's the first one I want to talk about because I am a big Marvel fan. So at D23 2024, we learned that Avengers Campus would be expanded in Disney California Adventure Park. That expansion will include the addition of 2 new attractions, which will double the size of the Marvel-themed land when completed. Now, during the Future of World Building at Disney panel, that is a weird sentence I wrote there. Now, during the Future of World Building at Disney panel, Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, and Bruce Vaughn, the president and chief creative officer for Walt Disney Imagineering, shared more about the storytelling and new technology that will bring these attractions to life. Starting with Stark Flight Lab, the attraction will take guests inside Tony Stark's workshop to explore and test out some of his latest tech. Robert Downey Jr., who portrays Tony Stark, made a surprise appearance at South by Southwest, calling the Imagineers working on these new experiences, quote, the living embodiment of the Stark Enterprise's mission statement. He continued saying, it's the privilege of a lifetime to be invited to participate, and that the Imagineering world is the Area 51 of fun, whatever that means. What's also exciting is that Robert Downey Jr. says that he plans to stick around after the attraction opens and wants to continue to work with Disney Imagineers. What that means, I'm not sure.
Right.
But it has me very excited for what's to come in the future. I mean, I assume it goes beyond just lending his voice to stuff. But yeah. Well, back to the attraction. Let me read what Bruce Vaughn had to say about it. In Stark Flight Lab, guests will sit in a gyrokinetic pods and roll along a track before stopping in front of a giant robot arm. I think I have a picture here. In front of a giant robot arm. This robot arm will hoist you into the air while you'll make several high-speed maneuvers inspired by Iron Man and some other Avengers. That I will select based on merit, and whomever picks up my FaceTime calls on the first ring, Downey joked during the panel. Transferring from a track to a robot arm and then back again, nothing like this has ever been done before in a theme park, and we're so excited about it. Usually we hide all the tech behind the scenes so you can focus on the story. Here, the tech is the story, so we're putting it front and center. That is a quote from one of the Imagineers. I forgot to quote who it was, but there it is. A key piece of Stony... I cannot read today. I do not know what is happening to me.
You're still on the ship?
A key piece of Tony Stark's legacy is his trusty robotic assistant, Dumb-E. When Robert Downey Jr. first visited Imagineering, he noticed a robotic arm in the Stark Flight Lab resembled Dummy, and just like that, the beloved bot became part of the attraction. I thought that was planned from the beginning.
Right.
So what do I know, I guess? To bring the robots in Stark Flight Lab to life, the team used dancers and motion capture to create a virtual mirror integrating realistic movements into early ride mock-ups. Their goal, to make these bots feel as lifelike as Dummy himself. The fact that they used motion capture is really fascinating to me. Also, we got a sort of a look at if you were on the Disney Parks blog or if you followed that Imagineering, the thing that came out on YouTube that I didn't mention in this article, but I'm going to mention a million times throughout the episode. If you had followed that, you got a look, like a look at this, the fact that you sit side by side in this two-person sort of cart, and then the machine is gonna pluck you up and then pick you up is really interesting to me.
I wouldn't trust anybody but Disney to do that to me. When I watch that happen, I'm like, oh, is that safe? Of course it's safe because it's Disney, but I'm like, ooh, that makes me a little nervous.
Well, I wrote in my notes, sort of wild to me using the motion capture and the dancers. I legit thought it was just going to be a ride that picked you up, shook you with its mind powers, and put you back
like
down.
A dog. Yeah, the whole thing. I do that all the time. Thanks, guys.
I personally am more excited for the second attraction that's coming to Avengers Campus, which is called Avengers. Whoop. I meant to show whoop. I guess I forgot to make the slide for it. Oh, well. Anyway, the second attraction is called Avengers Infinity Defense, and that, like I said, is the one I'm more excited for, but this one is going to have guests who are going to team up with the Avengers to battle King Thanos across multiple worlds. Then they'll fight alongside Black Panther, Ant-Man, Hulk, and more fan-favorite heroes to save the universe yet again. An Avengers job is truly never done. You never get to retire in this job. I noticed a couple things. Disney shared a new look at development of this attraction during the We Call It Imagineering episode on YouTube that I mentioned earlier. It does look like this is going to be a 3D glasses wearing attraction, which I find to be a little bit of a bummer. But I'm not going to pass judgment until we ride it. I just feel like in 2025, do we really need to be wearing 3D glasses anymore? I'm just happy the attraction is finally happening. I guess I thought I was kind of maybe hoping it was going to be a little more akin to Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
But I get that you have to work in the space that you have, and that space doesn't really exist over there. But they also showed an image of the ride vehicle, which you could see on display, like a miniature version of it at the 2024 D23 convention in the Imagineering booth. And it does look very similar to a ride vehicle of a theme park down the street from us us here in Orlando.
And who's in charge of these two projects exactly? Who's the mutual link here?
I feel like the who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah, Scotty. Scott Trowbridge.
Scott Trowbridge.
At it again.
He knows Spider-Man.
Listen, here's the thing. If it is as good as that Spider-Man attraction, which you do wear 3D glasses on, that Spider-Man attraction is like, what, over 20 years old? Was that an opening day attraction?
It was, yes.
So if it was, then that means it opened with the park when that opened in like 98 or 99.
99? Oh my goodness. Leave me alone. Hold on, let me find this.
I was pretty sure it opened in the 90s, but
they haven't updated it. They have updated it to be 4K in the last 5 or 6 years.
It might be like 10 years at this point.
Yeah, it was opening day, 1999.
Wow.
Which is wild to me.
Yeah.
So that attraction is 26 years old, and I still maintain it is one of the best theme park attractions, period, in the United States I have ever been on.
Yeah.
Just there's a lot of really fun, it uses screens with a combination of these practical effects, and if that's what we're going to get from this Avengers Infinity Defense, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think we'll get animatronics? Any? I don't know.
There's not in the Spider-Man here, so I wouldn't really compare. Maybe if there's like a fun pre-show moment or something.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I feel like there's plenty of opportunity to. They're playing with all the characters, you know.
I'm just thinking about it. They're compared to Walt Disney World, Disneyland compared to Walt Disney World. I feel like there's a lot less animatronics at Disneyland than there are at Walt Disney World. Am I crazy? Well, I guess they have the Rocket Raccoon one.
Yeah,
which is great.
my mind instantly goes to Rocket Raccoon.
We didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
No, maybe it's the same. I don't know. I am just thinking about how Spider-Man opened and there wasn't really any animatronic element of that attraction.
Right.
Yeah.
And we got Buzz. The both coasts have Buzz in front of Space Ranger Spin and Astro Blasters.
Yeah, but they have that cool ending in their Buzz Lightyear where it's like the physical. You've got like Zurg and them, and they're all shooting.
Yeah,
I still haven't done it.
That'd be an interesting. I'll research that.
Do not get misdorted.
I will research animatronics versus East versus West.
Yeah. Well,
hold me to it.
Well,
the next big project we got a peek at during the Future of World Building at Disney panel at South by Southwest was a look at the development of the upcoming Cars attraction coming to the reimagined section of Frontierland.
Here we go.
Yes, here we go. Indeed, I do have some photos of this because it's a little like, here you go, if you haven't heard about it. During the Disney Experiences Showcase at D23 2024, it was revealed that 2 new Cars-themed attractions will be added to a reimagined Frontierland, at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. To make way for this new frontier, the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island will be transformed into vast and rugged terrains. One of the 2 attractions coming to this Cars Frontierland is said to be an exhilarating rally race, while the other will be a kid-friendly experience. We finally have some new details on that rally race attraction. And basically, I'm going to read that. In this attraction, the crew will leave Radiator Springs behind and head off into the frontier to put their wheels to the test. Disney Imagineers said that they would need to invent a new type of ride vehicle for this ride to create an emotional experience for guests. Disney Imagineer Michael Hudgen said, "No one builds these in a factory because it has to do with so much more than just carrying you from one place to another. We have to create a car that conveys a feeling when you ride in it." The Imagineers ventured into the Arizona desert, hopping into a real off-road vehicle to experience the thrill of navigating rugged terrain firsthand. Next, the team collaborated with a motocross company to build a real dirt track, racing across it to gather data. They then use these insights to develop how the ride vehicles will eventually move and race. Lightning McQueen and Mater haven't ever experienced racing over rocky terrain, ascending to mountain peaks, and dodging around geysers. Disney Imagineer Michael Hudgens said, "We're using a customized production vehicle. It has sensors all over it, and we're taking it for test drives on our dirt track to gather data on how the vehicle responds to different terrain. This is where we turn that feeling we want into real-world engineering." So right here on the screen, we got a look at some early concept sketches that show how the vehicles will have a Cars look.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're kind of exactly what I thought they were going to look like, but
yeah.
The team at Pixar steps in next to give the vehicles their race car personalities. Pixar Chief Creative Officer Pete Docter said each vehicle in the ride will have its own name and number, just like a real race. As with the Avengers Campus look, there was also a look at this Cars Frontierland updates in the episode of We Call It Imagineering, where they confirmed the car will steer itself through track system. Now, I'm not against a Cars Land on this coast, but I really, really, really hope that we do not spoiled something. The next story. I really hope that we don't lose all of the waterways and rivers of America. Like the castle still needs a moat. I do think this would be a better fit for an expanded Disney's Hollywood Studios, truly. Yeah. But it is what it is.
I have a observation that I just noticed. I've stared at that concept art as it came out over the weekend. But are we going to be enclosed in those cars? They're not open air like Radiator Springs Racers is.
I know that the concept art isn't, but then if you watch the Imagineering episode, there is a shot where somebody has their hand in the car going around a track. And that, so it's like a little that car had an open, I think it just has the roof off of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on the flip side of that, I don't know. Could we be because Walt Disney World has way more temperate weather. Oh, I'm just thinking of the sun. I'm thinking about that rain and everything.
Humidity,
I'm assuming that can't work during the crazy squalls we have.
Right.
Squalls?
Yeah.
That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
They're like the random, we have a random micro hurricane. I mean, yesterday there was a tornado.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Last weekend. No, I'm excited about this. I'm, as you guys know, a big Cars fan. And the more I see, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense for that area. Also, them going out, I think they were in Sedona when they were doing these test drives. Sedona's near Route 66, or that section of Route 66 that they base a lot of Radiator Springs off of. So maybe, I don't think we'll get like Route 66 stuff, but maybe we can get some of that kind of like feel, like roadside attraction type stuff. So, and then they show that waterfall. So I don't know if there's a river in play, but that would be great. Some sort of river. Maybe not rivers of America, but rivers of cars, whatever.
Rivers of cars. Yeah.
I'm excited that it's, a whole new Cars Land for this coast. We all absolutely love Carburetor County and Radiator Springs Racers and on the West Coast Cars Land. So I don't know. I'm one of the few that doesn't like duplicate things on both coasts. I'm excited for that element. However, I am forever on the team of Disney needs to be adding more things to their parks instead of taking away vistas and areas and attractions while they're continuing to upcharge more for less. Which is a whole nother tangent that we can all go on sometime.
I'm also not somebody, I don't want to, just because I said the thing about the rivers of America, I'm not like, get rid of Tom Sawyer Island. I think it is
I was gonna say I'm okay with it.
Do something with it.
So that's a lot of space.
Well, and I'm not saying they had to like pave over the water to get rid of it. Maybe that is the only option. I don't know. Maybe there's something with the structure of the land. There's stuff that I'm sure that happens that we never get told about or know about. But it is one of those things where I still feel weird about the theming of Cars Land being in this, but I do understand the idea of retheming Frontierland, and bringing it maybe a little bit more modern and whimsical and adding the IPs and that sort of a thing to it and making it feels a little more Pacific Northwest, as opposed to the sort of Manifest Destiny sort of cowboy vibe it has right now, I would say, with
but
Big
for
Thunder
me,
Railroad.
As you're walking into Disneyland and Disney World, there's the plaque that says it's taking you from the worlds of yesterday, today, and tomorrow and fantasy. And I feel like Frontierland is that one piece of yesteryear, and they could take some steps to modernize it. They have with Country Bear Musical Jamboree. I digress. But like, I don't know. I feel like Cars is an interesting take for Frontierland. They could have done something else.
I just truly believe that Cars. I think about what a Hollywood Studios, like an expanded Hollywood Studios, would look like now that they're getting the Monsters area, which we're going to talk about next. Just that, like, with Toy Story Land, the Monsters area, and then adding Cars Land, we could have truly turned this into our Pixar theme park.
I know.
It's sort of the same way that Disney California Adventure has Pixar Pier and Cars Land, and then they have a Monsters ride over there. I mean, I think that one's not long for us, but it's just
one more question.
Yeah, please.
What is going on with Animation Courtyard?
Oh, I know.
What could we fit there? Open up that back half by Rock and Roller Coaster and make the Pixar land that was once on the table.
Yeah, I'd still take the aesthetics of Tom Sawyer Island over Animation Courtyard, even though like I go to that Disney Junior whatever show.
I can't remember the last time.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta say, like, I really am. I'm okay with Villains Land. I'm okay with Cars Land. I'm cool with all this. However, the one thing I would say is I still would have rather have had, I'm gonna be honest, a copy and paste Cars Land from DCA at Hollywood Studios, like 5+ years ago. Like, I think this should have happened a long time ago, and I think it should have kicked off, like you're saying, like a whole Pixar park, basically, or like this massive land. Because, and I it's not that I like copy and paste things. It's just that I think what Cars Land really excels at is literal, you are in the movie. And Disney just doesn't. Why don't they do that? I don't know, Batu. I don't know how many times I can say it. I'm not familiar with that. And it's kind of, that's kind of how I feel about this new Cars experience, is like, I'm cautious because I'm like, I don't know. This is a new story. We don't know anything about it. Like, is it going to resonate the same way? I think if Lightning McQueen and Tomato are all over the place, and yeah, it will. But otherwise, like, they're the story. That's the heart, the characters.
This is definitely the new age of theme park storytelling, is not doing the dark ride that is just a retelling of the movie. Like the Pinocchio dark ride or the Snow White dark ride at Disneyland Park, as an example. It's but definitely about we're getting sort of the like continuing the adventure and doing another world. But I do understand that, because there is that part of you where you're like, oh well, I'll never, specifically with Galaxy's Edge, you're like, I'm never going to get to visit Hoth or Tatooine.
I know.
Or Endor, truly. And those are some of the places where you're like, those are the ones you like dream of. I love the idea of this original planet, but it has yet to make its way into anything.
I don't have an emotional
other than a
connection
mention
to it.
Right, like, and that's the thing. And they, I don't know. There's that part of me where I'll roll my eyes when they finally do. They're like, oh, this character or this scene is actually set in Black Spire Outpost on Batuu, and I'll just be like, hard eye roll. But then I'll finally be able to be like, well, they finally used it.
Yeah,
and I don't know why. I don't know why I don't like it in that direction, as opposed to the other direction, right? Like there's the
because it's not familiar.
Well,
like, I want to go to places that are, I want to live it. Like, these are fairy tales or fictional stories that you want to live and experience. I don't want to live it and then be like, oh, I can read a book about it that's suddenly canon.
It feels like,
or whatever. It's all canon. It's all multiverse. We get it.
It feels like product placement when it's done backwards.
Correct.
When it's the land that then appears in something, it feels like product placement. But when it's already in a movie and then brought to life, it feels like that's what I wanted. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know who's doing literal better right now? Universal. Think about it.
Think about it. Yeah, it's frustrating because these worlds are made for theme parks. I mean, even the small little Ewok village set outside Star Tours, expand upon that and make that into an entire land. Make a playground for kids. I've always wanted that. No, off your point, Rhino, about how they haven't incorporated Batuu into anything like Star Wars canon quite yet. I get the most excited about Batuu when I see it on Star Tours, like whenever it lands in day or night, whenever you're riding during the day.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that so much, and it feels like it's a little more connected than it was before for us. But that's just so ironic that's the only the only piece that we have right now. And after all this time, it's like 5 years, 6 years. But yeah.
Well, we will talk more about Galaxy. We keep jumping to the wrong topic. Like, I didn't segue this very well, I guess.
Fired up.
So, continuing on with what we saw during the future of world building. My God, I'm determined never to say the word building correctly. Continuing on with what we saw during the future of world building at Disney panel from South by Southwest, we are actually headed to the park we were just speaking about, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and talking about one of the scariest projects of all, for Muppet fans at least, and that would be the Monsters, Inc. Door Vault attraction that will be a part of the brand new Monsters, Inc. land coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. This attraction was first announced at the 2024 D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, and has since been confirmed that this Monsters, Inc. land is replacing Muppets Courtyard and Muppet Vision 3D at Disney's Hollywood Studios. To make way for Monstropolis, the Muppets will take over Rock and Roller Coaster, supposedly, and the previous home of Muppet Vision will host a new Monsters, Inc. themed theater show, but that is not the attraction that we're really talking about today. We're talking about the big one, the signature attraction where guests will embark on a thrilling roller coaster ride through the Monsters, Inc. Door Vault, Disney's first ever suspended coaster and the first ever vertical lift.
Oh, that's going to be wild.
We don't have a ton of new details, but Imagineering gave us a look at a new animatic of the attraction where guests will board the vehicle before being hoisted into the air just like in the movie. That's all we got, really, honestly. I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill here, but it looks like it's going to be a fun attraction. And it was cool to see sort of the loading process, because it is really like you kind of it reminds me a little bit of how you get into Epcot Soarin', and like that sort of a seat where you tuck in, put your seatbelt on and thing, and then something's gonna reach down and like pick you up, and you go off on a line of these things, and it turns you around, which is cool. So it looks like it's gonna be fun.
This is literal to the movie. Hey,
yeah,
thanks, Disney.
yeah, right. It's that moment that we all left the theater. Like, I want that to be a theme park ride. If they could somehow capture that. And then in the Imagineering special they just released, they literally said Imagineers were itching to create that since they saw the movie all those years ago. So it's cool to know that this has just been a project that's been on the table for a long time, and it's finally coming true. And I'm not going to talk about what it's replacing, but I'm excited for the coaster itself.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good, girl.
Yeah.
I think about how much fun like Slinky Dog Dash is. And I do enjoy Tron, even though it is too short. So like this next generation of coaster, like really themed coaster, I'm looking forward to at Disney.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm just curious, like, hopefully it's longer than Tron and it lives up to the hype, and we'll see the ages that can ride it. That's sort of the thing that I have a little question in my head where I'm going like, how high up in the air is it going to be? Yeah, it's suspended, but is it going to be along the line of a Slinky Dog Dash version of a suspended coaster?
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to like a
inverted,
I don't know, Batman at like Six Flags. No, no knock on that. That ride, I remember waiting while my mom and my brother rode that ride, and I was like, this looks like the scariest ride I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Doesn't SeaWorld have a couple of those sort of dangly roller coasters too?
Yeah, well, the Manta where you're like laying down. I love that one.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's so fun. No, so there's a roller coaster actually in Dollywood. It's the Dragonflyer. It's a family suspended roller coaster, and the ride vehicle, the coaster seats look just like the Monsters one. So I feel like it's going to be like that. It doesn't go upside down, but there's a lot of like, big swooping actions, and it's pretty high up off the ground. I just hope it's a little longer than that one, because that one's particularly short duration. But no, I was going to say I'm excited for this, especially because, like I said, we've all been itching for this to be a big theme park attraction. But I just rode Monsters Incorporated Mike and Sully to the Rescue, which overtook
a dark ride that tells the story of the movie.
Yes, it does tell the story of the movie. The big wow moment for me in that ride, though, is the door scene, because it's just like mirrors all around, and there's this clever use of like, I don't know if it's Pepper's Ghost or if there's like several tracks along mirrors. It's just a really cool moment. So I can't imagine how that's going to be on a grand scale, and you're in between that suspended. Like, oh, it's so exciting.
I'd like some better animatronics too in Mike and Sully. That'd be cool.
Yes,
I'd like that.
I agree.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Don't hurt yourself there. Calm down.
Listen, Disney, you poached me for that.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
I'm excited for Harryhausen's. I know that wasn't part of the news, but I'm like, please give me some Disney sushi.
I am excited. Yeah, I want to learn more. Well, I feel like I mean, I'm trying to think. My brain is doing two things at once. I feel like Disney in the last even decade, 5 years even, with the food, the theming of the food has like gotten so much better at Walt Disney World. Yes. I mean, look at Galaxy's Edge, as good as that is. I mean, a Ronto wrap, come on, hello. How do we live with those?
I'll get both. I
would say the best thing ever to come out of that, if nothing else, was that Ronto wrap. But I do also, Rise of the Resistance is probably my favorite theme park attraction. I am really curious. I can't wait to start learning more about the food and that. And it will be interesting to see how we sort of get, once that construction starts taking place, the walls up right there. Because one of my favorite spots in the park is Disney's Hollywood Studios is Baseline Tap House. And am I going to be staring at a construction wall over there now?
Yeah.
It
all unfold.
Well, if anyone's been to Animal Kingdom recently, the construction is pretty front row and center over there.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting. A fun time though. I just really I do hope that the Muppets does end up somewhere else, even if it doesn't truly come to Rock and Roller Coaster, because there's this little part of me they're gonna like end up theming it to something else and not that, because that doesn't seem as. What's wild to me is in this Imagineering video that's come out and all the things they've talked about.
Yeah.
It seems like the Muppets being on Rock and Roller Coaster would be the easiest thing to release new information on. Also, we haven't talked about it yet, but the fact that the door ride, we saw the animatic, sure, but the Cars Land, the fact that there was like a little 3D printed car or whatever going around this track, I'm like, these are a lot further along in the planning stage than I thought they were.
Yeah, I'll give them credit for that.
Because looking back at the articles from D23, one of our articles says that the Cars Land area, they had expected to break ground in 2025. I don't know that I believe that, but I would think 2026 maybe. But it's still kind of wild to be like, these have probably been in the pipeline.
I think I thought that was confirmed that they're breaking ground this year.
Maybe.
I think in the
the
technical permits and stuff, they have to start this year, which could be December 30th, you know?
Right. Or it could be like, what does that really look like?
It also feels a little telling.
Earth.
A little telling about how far along like the villains area probably is. To me, that seems like that's probably, of everything we've heard about coming into Disney parks, that seems like it's probably the bottom of the list.
Distant dream, honestly.
Just the confirmation that we were thinking about it at one point.
Yeah. I just wanted to say one quick thing.
Sure.
Looping back to what you said about how you're surprised we haven't seen anything about the Muppets. I'd like to think and give them some grace that they might be holding out on any more information until they're kind of giving us a news drop on more Muppet things, like the preservation of Muppet Vision that was hinted, because they know how upset the fan base is. Because I feel like that could be a big thing, like, hey, we are doing this, but also we know how much you love them. They're also going to be here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because it is weird that they haven't talked about it again, especially knowing that Muppet Vision's closing date, and then there's nothing else beyond for Rockin'.
You know what? You want something to do with Animation Courtyard? Why don't you not turn the launch bay into, like, make it the Muppet Theater? Make it the Muppet Show Theater.
Oh, man.
We can go in there and we can go from room to room to room. So you could be like, Fozzie's Improv is like off to the side over here.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Kermit and Miss Piggy's like whatever romance, it's over here. You know, and then there can
Tunnel
be
of Love.
Make it a variety show or something.
Yeah.
And then you can have different Muppets for different things. And
yeah, why not?
they could actually be there in the same way that, and to say, oh, well, they couldn't do the whatever. They used to do the Bear in the Big Blue House. They've done the whatever. They've done puppeteering to that degree in there before.
Liberty Square.
Yeah, that's true too. The Liberty Square thing. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, just that would be so much, and that would make so much more sense than Rock and Roller Coaster that restricts the family element. The Muppet Babies aren't going to ride a rock and roller coaster.
I know.
Come on now. You think Nana's going on there? Girl, she's sitting on a bench outside.
You go, Nana.
Justice for baby Kermit. Come on now.
Yeah, come on now. All right. We're moving on, talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Hannah's favorite land in all of Disney parks history. At D23 2024, we learned about a new adventure coming to Disneyland and Walt Disney World, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and it's featuring everyone's favorite galactic bounty hunter, Din Djarin, or more commonly referred to as the Mandalorian from the Disney Plus show The Mandalorian, along with everyone's favorite little baby Yoda sidekick, Grogu. There's a new mission coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And
I'll take it.
Yeah, girl. And it plays into the narrative of the upcoming The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So here's a quote. Yeah. Working alongside the Mandalorian team, the Imagineers captured scenes for the attraction on the movie set, and you might see some familiar and beloved Star Wars locations aboard the Millennium Falcon. You heard of this ship? You heard of this piece of junk? Blow that piece of junk out of the sky. It's my best Adam Driver, sorry. But you could end up at Cloud City. Huh? Bespin? Bespin? Tatooine?
I like that.
Heard of that one?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Still no Hoth, but that's fine. Both the upcoming The Mandalorian and Grogu movie and this update to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run will debut on May 22nd, 2026. What a time to be alive to see a Star Wars in the movie theater. What year is it? And this is really cool. I'm really excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
Droids. If you're lucky enough to see the playful and completely adorable BDX droids puttering around Disneyland, you might be thrilled to learn that they will also make a trip around the world to visit Walt Disney World, Tokyo Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris. These little droids will also appear in The Mandalorian and Grogu as their feature film debut.
Oh.
Now, a BDX droid does come from the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Star Wars Jedi Survivor games, both very good, highly recommended by this guy here. Let me continue reading this. I apologize. With all this hard work, a tune-up is bound to be needed. This is the thing that I am truly very excited about. That looks so cool when it came out at South by Southwest.
Oh, here we go.
Walt Disney Imagineering has just the right fella for the job here. This is an Anzellan named Otto who specializes in tuning up droids. You may recognize him from one of the highlights, maybe the only highlight, from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, Babu Frick.
Babu Frick?
Babu Frick. We also saw his kind in an episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Baby, bad baby.
He looks so tired there. They're already working him too hard.
Oh, he's so cute.
Did you guys see? I don't know if you can still find it there, but in the Droid Depot, you could buy an animatronic Babu Frick.
What?
Yeah, and I almost got it. It was just he was a little creepy when I got close to him.
I call my little Chihuahua Great Babu because he looks like Babu Frick to me. So this is hitting home. I love it.
Yeah, but again, I don't think this stuff we can expect it before the movie, before May 22nd, 2026.
I bet we get in May. I bet we get before May 4th.
Well, the droids have already come out at Disneyland, and they have droids galore, characters galore.
I know. What do they have?
I don't know. I mean, we do have the Mandalorian and Grogu do come out at our Galaxy's Edge. And somebody said Chopper came out recently, too. So.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see that.
That homicidal droid there. I did forget to mention, I did want to bring this up as well. I did make a photo for it, but I forgot. I don't know if you guys recognize this fella. That is Herbie, Herbie. You may have glimpsed him in a preview in the trailer that was released for the new Fantastic Four film coming out this July. But Disney Imagineering did confirm that they are working on him being able to be a part of the Avengers campus.
Very cool.
And I think that's a lot of fun. But I don't know how much I trust them because where's the Groot? Where's Groot been? Haven't seen Groot make his appearance yet. And you know who else? I've only seen the Incredible Hulk that one time. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Why don't they still have him? I did really like that, though, because it felt like it was really Mark Ruffalo's voice, and it had the mask on and stuff. I don't know. It's just stuff like that. I really enjoy that sort of fun.
It's immersive.
The fun things. Yeah, it adds a lot to the land, and they really need to keep that up with Galaxy's Edge. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here.
I'm getting real hungry here. Hitting that time of the day. But guess what? We're not done. We're not done talking about Disney fun yet. How about we move over to our friends on the West Coast, a little place I like to call Disneyland, and I believe it's officially called that. But we got a lot of information that came out while we were cruising, and about the Disneyland 70th, and I believe Miss Hannah Anderson's going to take it away for us here.
I'm going to take it away. I'm going to take you on a journey. So we have more details about Disneyland's 70th, which is going to kick off this May, so it's coming up pretty soon. We kind of got a theme now, and I'm going to say it's
purple.
Yeah. This is an ongoing joke with me. I'm like, anytime Disney has an anniversary, they're like, you know what we could do? Something with the color purple. Everything's going to be purple, souvenirs, bunting, you name it. So we're getting purple, but we're also getting, I would say the theme is now maybe called Celebrate Happy, because that is the new song that's going to be playing throughout the celebration. So, yeah, I'm assuming we're going to hear it maybe before the parade or looped into the fireworks. We'll find out. Or everywhere. Also, we found out that, let's see, World of Color. Am I going in the right order for you?
I did not have enough time to make slides for everything. But
okay, let me keep going.
Yeah,
then.
Please tell me about World of Color, which we do know is having a special version.
It is for the 70th World of Color Happiness. It's going to be all new, and it's going to include a couple new songs, including Rainbow Connection by Boys to Men. Very excited. And there's going to be a new song by the Fitz, the front man of Fitz and the Tantrums, called
Oh, I love Fitz and the
Makes Me Want to Move.
Ooh.
Sounds fun. Okay, here's
Didn't they? Okay, sorry, go on. I don't want to cut you off.
Oh,
if
no,
you're about to say
go
it.
ahead.
It was just about this. I thought I had read that, like, speaking of the Rainbow Connection, that Muppets were going to make appearances throughout World of Color,
Yeah,
right?
all right, here we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
see, I cut you off.
So, okay, before the show begins, there's going to be a special message from some familiar faces, a.k.a. the Muppets. Here's where it gets wild, though, is that Joe the Legal Weasel is going to kind of guide us through this pre-show. So I just love, he's a Muppet. That's just a deep cut. So, but we are going to get
I love
the
it.
Rainbow Connection and a Muppet pre-show for World of Color.
Cut to Chloe weeping openly. Like,
Yeah. And Boys to Men, I'm like, this is going to be so soulful.
I'm so excited.
I cannot wait.
Sometimes I think they have them on a retainer. Because
Yeah.
they're always, I feel like they're like become an annual Epcot tradition now.
And they were
I mean, listen, they're great.
That was all for one.
That was all for one,
it
Hannah.
was.
Jeez,
I know.
Get out of your butt.
Sorry, my bad. I forgot. My
It,
bad.
it could have been.
Wait, what was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I swear, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so other.
Which I did think was a Boys to Men song until.
Oh, I knew it was all for one, but I forgot. I just forgot the song and everything. So I didn't stand out because it wasn't Boys to Men. I wanted it to be. So World of Color, basically, it's going to follow the story of Happy in a kaleidoscope of emotions, which means, guess what? We're going to get joy and the other emotions from Inside Out and Inside Out 2. We're also going to get other Pixar films, including Turning Red. So very exciting. That means some good music there. The Incredibles. And then also
Yeah.
a Goofy movie. So we're getting some. Yep, we're getting
We
some.
won today.
Yep. So we're definitely
Finally.
going to get some Eye to Eye. We're going to get some Tangled. We're going to get some Encanto and other films. So we'll just have to find out. But there is like an artist rendering of World of Color. And so you can see some of these characters. So ones I didn't mention, we've got, of course, Frozen in there. We've got Little Mermaids. We got some other classics that'll be in there.
Wait.
Okay.
Sorry. In a Goofy movie, did they say it was Eye to Eye?
They don't specifically, but the image is Powerline.
I kind of hope
Powerline's
he does
in the
stand
image.
out though, because I feel like they've been using Eye to Eye for like everything.
Yeah.
And
What
I'm
if
like,
it's
I don't
both?
get it.
I bet
Well,
you
I would love for
don't
both.
limit
Here's the
it.
thing: release the whole album, you cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
I dare you. I dare you.
There
How
you
about
go.
a reunion tour?
Yeah, we just got a Lady Gaga album. Come on now.
Hey, it's the 30th anniversary. Never a better time to put the band back together. Just saying.
Say less.
Yeah.
I did just watch Country Bears over the weekend too, so that reminded me of that.
Wait, the live action?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did they combine Trixie and Teddy into the same character? Okay.
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, that's for a different podcast.
they did though.
We need to dig into that. So, okay, this is not necessarily news, but Paint the Night, of course, is returning for Disneyland's
Very excited.
70th. And it's going to be over at Disneyland Park, so you'll be able to watch that on Main Street, USA. Let's see, Anna and Elsa are going to rejoin the parade, so we'll have some updated floats as well. And then Wondrous Journeys is returning also to Disneyland Park.
Yeah.
You might have heard of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like this.
Wondrous. I feel like that was more Bruce Springsteen, I think.
So I don't.
Philadelphia. I don't remember his song.
I don't see anything that implies it's going to be a new version per se, because it mentions Princess and
doubt
the
it
Frog,
is.
Peter Pan,
Yeah.
Big Hero 6, all things that were in the previous version. But anyways, those fireworks will be returning. Guess what's also returning? Now we're hopping back over to California Adventure, the Better Together, a Pixar Pals
Better
celebration.
together, better together.
Is that how it goes?
I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Play the clip.
Better together, better together.
So
5, 4, 3, 2,
two.
1. That's like the
that's the
countdown
one
to fun or
before
something. Yeah.
that, I think.
I don't know.
You know, but you guys know it. You love it. We filmed it last.
Listen, at
yeah,
least
it's out there on the YouTube.
parade in a park that doesn't usually have a parade. Great.
I know, and you know where's a great place to watch this
Don't
parade.
ruin our tip.
Well,
You can tell them.
All right, watch one of our most recent happy hours. And
Carthay
you'll know what
Circle
to-
Lounge. If you
you'll
can
know
get
what to
yourself
do.
outside on the patio around the times of the parade, it's a great place to
But
watch
you
it.
should watch a happy hour video because there's a drink you really should order.
Yes, huh?
All right, so we got that going on. Also, they are going to do a special projection show over at Disneyland Park called Tapestry of Happiness, and it's going to be projected onto Main Street USA, and it's going to be inspired by Disney legend Mary Blair. So think Small World art, that kind of thing. Let's see, what else do we have? We have, of course, we saw this before, but we have new character costumes coming for the 70th.
Yeah.
You can guess the color palette. Purple.
Actually, kind of like a...
It's a little it's blue, I guess. Blue and
it matches
purple,
the background of
orange.
the show's frame really well.
Yeah,
I know. I was like,
Covers
they did it
cues.
for us. It's fine.
So the Sensational Six, they're all getting outfits. And then we got a new...
Look, there's 8 of them. 9 of them. Yeah, count the characters on the screen right now. Donald, Daisy,
we got Chip and Dale, my bad.
Clarabelle, the icon,
and
Goofy.
Clarabelle.
Notice who she's
My bad.
standing next to.
Oh, and look at the way, but she's got her hand up. Oh, she's got her hand up.
I'm just
Okay,
saying
I
they've
see.
paired these people off in couples. She is with Goofy. I maintain there is something going on there.
Maintain.
Yeah,
It's just in.
okay. Lump that into the other episode about the combining characters and the Country Bears. We're getting a cavalcade at Disneyland Park, so it's called the Celebrate Happy Cavalcade.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
see
I
that
don't
theme?
think I like these
Happy.
names. Yeah.
So they describe it as a lively new character procession. So
Max
it's
is
gonna come
in
down
there.
the parade route.
I see Max
Oh,
with
and
Goofy in the concept art.
Duffy.
Oh, and Duffy.
friends.
Ulani?
Olume?
Oh,
no, it's Shelly May and Duffy is who
Shelly May.
I'm seeing. That's exciting. I'd really like some merch.
Shelly May.
Shelly May.
Like
That's
Shelley
the first
May.
time they've been in a domestic
Not Duffy.
stateside parade, right?
But
Not
a
Duffy,
parade.
but
Oh,
Shelly
parade,
May.
yeah.
I don't know if they've been in a parade. Yeah.
Duffy used to be a character meet and greet
At
at
Did
Epcot.
it,
Yeah.
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 Bring that back, you know? And of course, we're going to get some decor, some decorations, because what celebration would be complete without a 50-foot sculpture inspired by Sleeping Beauty Castle that's going to be in the Esplanade between Disneyland and California Adventure.
So we're getting a tiny castle.
Tiny
Before,
castle.
before the small
tiny.
castle.
It's a nesting egg of castles.
Yeah, there you go. And they gave us a concept art photo of what's going to be out in the, like what the floral Mickey is going to look like in front of the
I'm
train
not putting it up
station and what Town Square is going to look like. So anyways, you kind of get an idea, feel for the festival, castle decorations as well. It's going to get a medallion that says 70th anniversary with that same color scheme. So we got a song. We got a new World of Color. We got purple. We got new costumes.
I'm ready to hear about the food. Because the thing I remember the most about the 60th anniversary was, one, the entertainment, because Paint the Night was incredible.
Yes.
And I'm not a parade person. And then the food. I remember the food everywhere. That food celebration was so good.
Disneyland does food really well. We also got, we have an article up on wdwinfo.com. Check it out, of a sneak peek of the merchandise. So a couple things we got. The star of the show is truly the gold glitter conductor hat, like the one they have over at California Adventure. Currently, except it's gold and it's sparkly. We'll be getting it.
I require it.
Everything else we get,
Purple.
yeah, it doesn't matter. No, we got we
Looks
have
like-
a
It vaguely looks like their Pride Night collection from last year, which was black with like rainbow, but this is like just a little bit off from rainbow.
They went
Yeah,
into Microsoft
it's like a little
Paint and
more-
just changed the color.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does look
for
a
real.
little more muted, a little more pastel. Hey, but this kicks off in May, so you could wear it to Pride too. But yeah, we got a Spirit jersey, we got a lug bag, we got some ears. So it's like black with those kind of like purple and pink and gold designs. And we got a popcorn bucket. You can, oh, there she is. It looks like the classic mouse ear balloon, but with her characters and their 70th outfits.
I liked the 60th one because it was
yes.
like the classic
Literal.
balloon and it had the date on it, which was nice. Because that was one of the times where I was like, this is nice. It had like the opening to the thing. Oh, you do? The 70th one, I do like the animation style of Mickey on there, but
oh, here's my bottle of ranch. I know you guys want to see that.
yeah,
Very important. And then here it is from the 60th.
yeah. I have the red one.
Yeah, I would have liked the red one. They only had the blue when I went. bummer.
I think they did it in 3 colors. I can't remember.
The gold conductor hat takes me back to the 50th merchandise.
Yes.
It's gold sequin and everything. So I wonder if there's going to be any more gold items that they haven't shown
Please.
just
I
yet.
love gold.
I like gold. Yeah. Well, Ryan, you said you don't like parades that much
I'm not
until Paint the Night, but I'm hoping
I like your
Magic happens
I like
for
your
her.
segue
Yeah.
you're doing right
Yeah.
now. She hopped on her 2 wheels and she's ready to move on.
I'm ready to scoot along here.
Here you go. Go right ahead.
All right. So we have a new Coco float revealed for the new Disney Starlight Parade at Magic Kingdom. Which
Could you use the full name of the parade, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away.
Okay.
It is our first brand new nighttime parade at Walt Disney World since 1991 with Spectrum Magic. I will not stop saying that because I can't
1991,
believe
that's wild.
I can't believe it's been that long since we've seen a brand new parade here. All right, I'm just going to dive in. I wrote about this as we got the news yesterday. We're just a few months away from the all-new Disney Starlight Parade, which will soon light up our Magic Kingdom nights, and a new Coco float has just been added to the lineup. You'll soon hear sounds of mariachi music announcing the arrival of a vibrant, larger-than-life Coco float featuring Pepita with her wings spread above the parade route. And below, Miguel will strum his guitar alongside Dante at the foot of a marigold bridge to the land of the dead, complete with sparkling sugar skull fireworks. It's beautiful. Coco joins the previously announced floats featuring the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio, who will lead the parade, inviting all to wish upon the first star you see tonight. Ever heard of wishes? Little hint there. Other twinkling parade
that?
floats will star Peter Pan and Wendy, Elsa, Moana, Mirabelle, Isabella, and Bruno, as well as a cavalcade full of Disney princesses dancing with their princes. Disney has said more royalty is on the way for this parade, with more details coming soon. So it sounds like this is not all of the floats just yet. However, with all of these specific floats announced, Disney also unveiled the parade's attraction poster, which will soon be seen underneath the Main Street USA train station as you enter Magic Kingdom Park. The artwork captures a creative vision for the parade by showcasing both modern stories and familiar nostalgia, and I think this artwork is gorgeous. I love the
was
texture.
about to say I hate the poster.
Really? I love the textured
Have you guys
sparkles and
zoomed into the faces? They're a little derpy.
they're a little derpy. It's
I
a
mean, it's the
specific art
style. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's giving dreaming and Starlight. I think I'm just too excited for this parade.
Yeah.
So they continue to say Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away is set to debut this summer. Maybe May, maybe June. We'll see.
What's Jamae?
No specific. Jamae. Covering all my bases here. Okay.
Jamal.
Jamal,
Let's go. Jamal.
Are you excited for this parade right now?
I am excited because I do love a nighttime parade. I will say
Okay.
this. I am
Okay.
not a fan of the Main Street Electrical Parade because it feels like a parade that's been beaten to death. And
I don't feel that way.
I am so it's exciting to have like a new nighttime parade, but you know what also has me excited is that it is the first when did Festival of Fantasy start? Like 10 years ago almost
Yeah.
at this point, I feel like. So it's the first parade in a long time beyond just a new nighttime parade, but it's new for Walt Disney World. And the Coco float is kind of giving me throwback vibes to what's the parade I love at Disneyland that I'll watch twice when it goes through a day?
Oh,
Magic Happens.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I have to cough. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Wow, he's getting emotional.
Oh God, I was hoping you guys would vamp while I was doing it, but it does have me. The thing about I'm so sorry. Magic Happens. I love the float designs because I'm not the biggest Frozen fan, but that Frozen float where it's the fall, the leaves and the forest
from
leading
Frozen
into 2. the frozen area. I just think that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love the character that are represented there, and I love the costume design and the individual
Yes.
dancers as well. There's a lot of really cool elements there, and so I'm kind of hoping some of that gets brought into this, and from the vibe of the sort of those pictures we've been seeing, like that Coco float. That Coco float, I just keep thinking about the orange bridge lighting up at night and how cool that's going to
Yes.
be. My grandma always loved a nighttime parade. She's still with us. I don't know why I'm talking past tense.
Take her to see this one.
When she used to take me as a child all of the time, and that's when I was like, "All right, Grandma, you're gonna have to take that drive to Florida because I want her to kind of see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least I'll record it and then show her a video because I think she likes watching those. So
I'm excited about like late nights of Magic Kingdom again potentially. Like because I never go to Magic Kingdom at night as a local now, which is a little daunting because it's not a fun process getting over there from the ticket and transportation center. But I think if the park's open a little bit later, that just absorbs crowds maybe better. And maybe I'll hang out Magic Kingdom at nighttime.
That is really telling too because Chloe, when did you say this parade started? Is it May this year?
They said summer. They haven't clarified.
It's
the
Oh,
date
it was
yet.
Jamay. That's right.
Jamay.
But the sun does not set till pretty late in the day here in the summertime, so it's pretty like for a light up parade to go through. Again, it does mean and then on top of that with the fireworks, it brings a lot more. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we start to see the return of like a midnight close, maybe. I mean, sorry, cast members that work there. I know it's awful, but
but Disneyland closes at midnight. Most nights we're out there.
I know, and the weather is so much better at night. And here's the thing: in the summertime and that time of year, it is really a bummer when your park closes at 9 or 10, and there was a thunderstorm at like 5 for the 3 hours, and you just really miss out on a big portion of the day. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too.
Chloe, did you have anything else related to that, or any other things?
I'm just excited.
Yeah. Jamay can't
wait.
get here soon enough.
You're making me crazy thinking
Jamay,
about
it. We are running a little short on time here, but I did mention at the beginning of the show that we did just return from a 5-night sailing on the Disney. Oh, wait, actually, let me back up 1 second. You know what I forgot to say? Because again, it wasn't included in the article on the website, so I forgot to add it to my notes. Did you guys? I know I brought up Herbie. I'm going to keep coming back to Avengers and stuff like that. Did you guys see that the Fantastic Four is going to do meet and greets in Tomorrowland at Disneyland? Which I feel like.
No, I don't think I saw.
Oh,
that.
you didn't see that?
No.
I think if they're all 4 of them, that means we're going to get the Thing in there, which will be cool. It means somebody is going to have like a bodysuit on or something like that. But I think I think because Disneyland's Tomorrowland, I still kind of associate with that mid-century modern look, and that is what the new Fantastic Four movie is going for. It's like an alternate universe with a mid-century
it's
modern.
kind of World's Fair, 60s World Fair.
Yeah. So I actually think, I know people might be like, why aren't they at Avengers Campus? I actually think them meeting in Tomorrowland is really cool because it is that, like you just said it, that World's Fair sort of thing, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be really cool. Also, is this the first time we're getting a Marvel character meet and greet at Disneyland Park?
Oh.
No, I lied. We're not, because when on my first trip to Disneyland in 2015, inside of what is now the DVC lounge, they had a whole Avengers area where you could meet Thor and everybody. So I take that back, but I do think it's cool. I wonder if they'll be like on the stage where the that comes out of the ground. That's where the galactic the in front of Space Mountain and by Pizza Planet and stuff like that is over there.
Kind of makes sense.
Pizza Planet there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I got a
Alien Pizza Planet.
I forgot something else.
What'd you forget?
I got so excited about my sequin hat at Disneyland that I forgot to tell you guys that if you book your 70th vacation for the summer, they're doing discounts right now. So they just released a room discount and a ticket discount. The ticket discount, you can get a ticket for as low as $120 a day, and that's with a 3-day, 1 park per day ticket. So it's the total ticket price is $360. Of course, you can upgrade that to a 4-day for even less. So a 4-day, 1 park per day ticket is $400, making it $100 a day. That's a great deal. Of course, you can pay a little extra to upgrade it to a park hopper. And then also, if you are a Disney Rewards Visa card holder, you can save up to 30% off of resort rooms at Pixar Place, Grand Californian, Disneyland Hotel, and the villas at Disneyland Hotel. For everyone else, you can save up to 20% off on select stays. There are some stipulations. It has to be a stay of 4 nights or more. This is for travel. Let me pull up the dates here. This is for travel starting May 16th, so right in time for the 70th, through August 14th.
Oh, all the summer.
And you have until July 31st to book. So basically, if you're booking a summer trip to Disneyland, there's a combinable room discount and a ticket discount.
Wow. Especially for all the festivals and everything like that. And I know there's still some Disney After Dark sort of things going on that time of year. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you want to book, don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel, because when you book them, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but they can help find you some savings, things like that. It's like a concierge sort of service that you get with no extra cost. So it's nice.
And if you're already booked for the summer, your Dreams Unlimited travel agent has probably already applied that discount for you. So that's the nice thing about working with a travel agent, is anytime these rates come available, they automatically get applied. You don't have to call in Disney. We take care of it for you, and you get that money back.
Yeah, and in this day and age, I used to be one of those people. I was like, why would you use a travel agent? I'm just like, I'm over everything's complicated. I don't want to deal with it. I want to be like, okay, I'm going to tell you what I want to do. Can you take care of the rest?
Yeah.
Right.
Like that, I can give you the basic outline, and then you help fill in the blank for me. But again, doesn't cost you anything extra, and you help support the channel and the show when you book with them. So before we close out, we will do another longer review of it. But I just wanted to get everybody's like really condensed thoughts on our sailing that we had on the Disney Fantasy. We sailed. It was, like I said, it was a 5-night sailing out of Port Canaveral. We were on the March 2nd through the 7th sailing. And if everybody could give me like a 1 minute, just your overall thought of it. I know that everybody here has been on a Disney cruise before. This was my first experience on the Fantasy. I think everybody else had been on the Fantasy before. I'll tell you what I thought of it. You could tell me. Oh, here's how maybe we could do it.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a highlight and a low light of your trip?
Okay.
Give me a little bit of both, and then just give me like a 1 minute, 1 minute little tap session. A little.
Okay.
What do they call it? What do they call it when they're like skip bop boo boo beep bop? Are you
Like
scatting?
scatting?
Yeah. Give me a little scat session.
You got it.
Cruise line edition.
All right, I'll try my best. Try my best to keep it snappy here.
Beep beep honk honk.
Stupid snap. Wrong sound effect.
Sorry.
So I have been on the Fantasy the most out of any of the ships. I used to go quite a bit on the 7-night sailings. That was like my yearly vacation before I started doing Disney more as like my career. And it used to be my number one ship. After being on the Treasure, it is no longer my number one ship. After being on the Treasure and then going back on the Fantasy so quickly afterwards, this ship is in need of the dry dock, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it. I hope there's more than just, a few new stateroom upgrades. I hope we get new carpeting, some new themed areas. That said, I still enjoyed being there because it's a Disney cruise. I love Disney cruising. There was a couple of hiccups along the way that I know the other two will touch on, but I'll just go over my highlights and my lowlights. My highlights: we had the best service team I've ever had in our dining room.
Ever.
Kanya and Romaine were fantastic. Oh my goodness. And Kanya says she's going over to the Destiny later this year, so I hope we get to see her. I've never had like those experiences you read about like on the Diz boards and online of, oh, we had this fantastic dining team, we're going to request them wherever we go. I've never had that before, and this was my 10th sailing, so kind of significant. And they were just far and away the best. So sweet. Another highlight was I purchased the 5-night long, voyage-long rainforest room pass, and I found a few pockets of time where I basically had the whole room to myself, which is kind of hard to plan.
On that ship, especially that sailing. That's nice.
So I had nice little snoozes in the hot tub, which is probably a little dangerous, but that happened. And then the ceramic tile warm loungers was really nice.
I'm just imagining them finding you, like poking
Drown
you with
in the hot tub.
like a long oar, like Charlie's mother in Willy Wonka, where she's like, ma'am, I said ma'am.
We discovered the best espresso martini on board at Palo in the Meridian, and we watched fireworks from a super cool location that was nice and private. There was a lot of cool moments. Low lights, missing Castaway Key. That was
Don't
not so.
even get me. Well, I am going to get started.
That
in
was
a
not
second.
good. I'm hoping that Disney could somehow fix that in the future, because I know it has something to do with the way that the pier and the dock is and whatever. But that was a bummer. So we were on the ship for much longer than we anticipated on this sailing. And 5 nights is a long way away from home to not get off the ship more than once. So yeah, I'll let you guys take it away. Overall, I would give this a 2.5 out of 5 sailing.
2.5 out of 5.
Fantasies.
No, I was going to say towel animals. And I just couldn't think of the word. I was like, what are they called?
We can work on a graphic.
What about you, Hannah?
So,
you were there with your husband and your kid.
I was. And that definitely improved my experience, I think, because seeing my kids' enjoyment of everything really just kind of brightened some of the negative points, I guess I would say. It does come with some challenges, though. So we tried out the Oceaneers Club for the first time, and it had so much potential.
Oh, so much, yeah.
Like when he went the first time, I was like, man, this is what cruising's all about. This is why people love cruising. They take their kids to the Oceaneer Club. They're happy. They do whatever they want. And then he basically had FOMO and didn't want to be left alone. So I'll touch more on that later, but that 2 hours, I got to go to Apollo brunch. Very cool. But no, I still love the fantasy. The fantasy feels familiar to me. I still think it's probably my second favorite ship behind the Treasure. I know Enchanted Garden is boring, but I like that. I like one of the menus there. So it was just nice to be on a cruise ship and be looking forward to certain dishes and things I hadn't had in a while. Another highlight, Lookout Key. I really like Lookout Key, and I felt that way the first time, but the second time kind of cemented that for me. I'm a big fan of Lookout Key. I just think that I still love Castaway more, but I think the thing is comparing the two almost isn't fair because they're two totally different experiences. The cons, definitely missing Castaway Key. I know that happens a lot. It's never happened to me. And I think everybody on that cruise, you book for the Castaway and the Lookout Key, going to both Disney destinations. So to miss one of those 5 nights, that's a bummer. Also, the movement of the ship, holy cow. So this was really great perspective. As a travel agent, I normally love the movement of the ship. I love when you're walking down the hallway and everybody moves to one side because the ship is moving. I love being rocked to sleep at night. I normally like it. I had a stateroom on the back of the ship, which gave me an extended veranda. Cool view, but man, let me tell you, the first night and the last night of the cruise, I actually got seasick, motion sick for the first time in my life. I don't even pack Dramamine, and let me tell you, once you experience that once, it is hard. So anyways, just keep that in mind. Especially if you're a client of mine, I'll try to help you out with where we put you on the ship and time of year that you're sailing. But that's real. And just go ahead and back Dramamine. Don't get cocky like I did.
Yes, and I will say in terms of Dramamine, because she came a knocking at my door, or rather her husband did, there's not just the Dramamine you can take. There's the Dramamine you can take before you commence the motion or the activity or whatever. And then there's the Dramamine that you can take during and then after the effects as well. So Dramamine now makes these they're basically like cough drops, but they there's different versions of it that have ashwagandhas. I forget what it is, but it's supposed to also take some of the edge off a little bit. And then there's ginger tablets, which is the all-natural Dramamine. And then, of course, I do the less drowsy Dramamine. I know that people have spoken about the patch, but I hadn't used the patch before. And the patch you used to have to get a prescription for, but now they make the over-the-counter ones. I haven't used it, and a patch, I believe, lasts 2 to 3 days. So that's why I was like, well, I don't want to use it and then have an adverse effects for 3 days. But luckily, I take. Here's my tip on the Dramamine, taking for anybody who gets motion sickness. Take it well before you leave for the ship. But keep an alarm going in your phone or something like that. If you're going to be at sea multiple days, I would recommend 1 tablet every 18 hours if you're used to taking it. That way you're constantly have a little bit of crossover, and it's not it's out completely out of your system and back in and out and back in. That's how I usually do it. And then I would definitely keep those. I would recommend the ginger drops, cough drop things. Those are really handy just to keep on you. I'd actually recommend those for the theme parks as well. So if ever you have, you've done it a million times and all of a sudden you can't anymore. It's happened to all of us. Mm-hmm. going backwards on Everest or like Guardians or something like that. Sometimes it can make you feel gross one day when it didn't make you feel gross before. So I recommend those a lot. I would say my really honest opinion of this is that if this had been my first Disney cruise, I would not do it again. I felt like 5 days, Chloe said it, 5 days was too much. This ship, I think, is definitely max 4 days. The extra day at sea really was a lot, it felt like, and it didn't feel like it was a lot on that day. It felt like that last day it became a lot. I definitely think the weather impacted that. Luckily for us, it was good weather. It was nice, but it was just so windy that it was rocking so much. And that last night, I mean, my hangers were banging. There was stuff rolling across the room. I could barely get up to I was like trying to pack the suitcase and I could barely stay on my feet. It was just one of those, like, it really puts a little bit of a damper on the experience. And again, they can't control the weather. But overall, like the whole vibe of the whole cruise to me, I should say the last one I was on the Treasure for a Media event in December. And that ship was only like a quarter of the way full, maybe halfway filled. I know it was definitely not full. And then the one before that, I was on the Wonder for a week in Alaska. Completely different because you're not in the open ocean. You're sailing up, through the Inside Passage and stuff. And that has a lot. And there was like crazy weather during that one, and it didn't feel the same way. But that ship with those ports and everywhere you're going, the days at sea never felt bad to me on that ship. And I never felt like I was on the ship too long for that sailing. And then the one I did before that was the Wish. Now, when the Wish came out, I remember everybody who are these cruise experts and the people who cruise all the time had nothing but complaints to make about the design of the ship. And I was the only one in our group or who I've talked to who was like, I actually really like it. I think the up area is a lot more open, some of this areas. I like that some of the entertainment is dispersed more throughout the ship, so everybody's not trying to go into all the same places at once. And I feel like I was finally vindicated on this experience because this was the first time I've been on a ship where I could not get anywhere close to being able to see the sail away party. I couldn't get anywhere close to being able to participate in the pirate night. It was I don't know if the ship was completely full, but there was a lot. And this was also the first cruise where there was a noticeable crazy amount of kids on it for me. I don't have kids, and I do understand Disney is for everybody, but I've never given it a second thought on a cruise until this one, that there were just so many kids. Like, I thought maybe there were schools taking trips, like field trips on it or something like that. That's how many I noticed. But I also think it was a big part of it was there was no way for me to just walk up to the sail away party. And that put a damper on that. What were you going to say? Sorry, Chloe.
No, I was just going to go off your point about the kids thing. Obviously, this is a Disney cruise and families, and yes.
And they're welcome. Yeah, I'm not saying
of course,
they shouldn't be there at all.
I want to just preface that again. In my experience on the Fantasy, I have never seen that many children on board before. And that was because I used to sail like that first week of Halloween sailings. It was like Labor Day week because that was honestly the cheapest rate available for a 7-night sailing. Probably still is because kids just go back to school and it's kind of the sweet spot of like the holiday sailings just start. And I don't ever remember there being such a long line for ice cream every day. I'm going to bring it back to, this is another highlight for me, is the banana soft serve was available every day. But no, I had to wait at least 5 people deep to get the soft serve.
But you could just serve it yourself.
That ain't worth the line. But but it was, I feel like, open longer than I noticed it open on like the Treasure of the Wish. That might just be the illusion of being able to do it yourself, that it feels like you have more access to it. But I do like being able to make it really tall, and then I spilled it on the floor like an animal.
Like a child.
But I will say that, and Chloe's point, she makes a good point. Not just the ice cream. I thought the experience of going to eat at Cabanas was one of my worst nightmares. It was just chaos left and right. It was really hard to find a starting point, and it was of all ages. I'm not blaming that on children. I'm blaming it more on the adults than the kids, because there would be like adults who just jump in front of you and then just kind of look and wait and wait. And I'm like, girl, if you don't know, stand next to me and let me go up and just grab my food and move on with my life. And I will say this too of the food. I'm sorry. The food on the Wish and the Treasure is miles better. Like
Mickey's Food Festival.
It's not even in the same building.
Sure.
Yeah. I thought the pizza on this was not good. I thought none of the like grab and go food was that good. I was like, this is the stuff that we've been talking about. I feel like once you do the Treasure, it's just and it's such a sad thing that it's a 7-night cruise, because I'm like, I wish that was the 5-night cruise.
Right.
I guess the wish is, but it felt like that. I felt like the adult areas felt very dated to me. And whenever they were doing anything, they were really full. But not when it was like the nightlife was still kind of dead there. So I get why they've rethemed that a little bit. I will say one of the high points for me was a mixology class that Hannah had signed me and her husband up for, and then canceled and didn't tell me, so I went alone. I went to, was actually a lot of fun, and I thought it was going to be like really basic, really lame. But I thought it was really cool, and the bartender was like, these are our versions of this drink, and this is how I came up with them, and then this is how you break it down. And I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Chloe, I cannot emphasize enough how great our server and the assistant server were.
Yeah.
They're I had good service all around.
I don't know. They were okay. I didn't love one of the cruise directors, the male cruise director. The female cruise director, I thought she was fantastic.
The captain?
The male one,
the captain?
Was it the captain?
I think so.
I just hated the cadence he spoke in.
Yeah, he was kind of condescending.
Yeah,
incredibly.
Especially when the Castaway Key announcement came in, and the way he went about it, because he talked about the weather the night before, and then he came on early in the morning talking about that we weren't able to dock, and things happen, and I understand they have to put a foot down and their policies and their way they go about cancellations and stuff, but it just came across like very like, I don't know.
I also was not impressed. I was not impressed with the day at sea, the extra day at sea, when they're like, we're adding all this extra special stuff. Okay, characters in the atrium is overrun with people, and like maybe they added more trivia and stuff like that. But I was kind of really disappointed with that sort of offering. And the food, I didn't think really any of the food. The Paolo brunch was very good. We'll do a whole review of that. These people are crazy. I don't think that chicken thing is as good as everybody says it is. That was not the highlight. That was not the highlight.
Oh no, the grape and gorgonzola pizza.
I liked my eggs Benedict thing.
Yes,
I thought that was real good. Yeah.
The waiter said it was life changing, and it was indeed life changing.
Yeah. I even wrote it in my notes. Life changing.
My life was changed.
I will agree. Chloe, finding that little spot to watch the fireworks, like with a different perspective, was new and different, and I really enjoyed that. And we'll have a little video of what it looked like from over there on our other YouTube channel on the Diz. But yeah, this whole version of it, and I'm sorry if this statement comes out a little offensive, is that it felt like a Walmart version of what I thought a Disney cruise was supposed to be. The ship was worn and it showed. I think it was a little bit of the clientele situation. The fact that we didn't make it to Castaway Key, I didn't love that. I didn't love Lookout. I thought it was good. I thought it was nice. The water was beautiful. I think the way it's run and the way it is, I don't know. I've got to sit with my thoughts a little bit more, but it didn't feel like there is a difference in price for a Disney cruise versus a Royal Caribbean versus whatever. And I didn't feel like I got that difference on this cruise. This is the first cruise I've taken where I felt like that. I think this is my 7th cruise with Disney or something like that. So I'm not an expert or anything like that, but that was just my experience on the ship.
Yeah.
I guess I was kind of like hoping for a little bit more. But we'll talk in more detail later about more of that. It's just sort of that I think this sailing specifically should be 4 nights. I think the 5th night was like, it was one too many sort of a thing.
Yeah, but if we'd gone to Castaway, I think it would have been okay.
Maybe. I don't even know, honestly.
I
think it might have changed my feeling. I think the ship, but if it
hadn't been rocking the way it had.
The weather was rough.
No, the weather definitely affected my opinion, but I still think I would have that opinion even without the weather. I do think it's the danger of that extra day. It's too much for this ship. But I do think that it was really a bummer for Castaway, and I do think the fact that happened, that you told me it happens a lot, was shocking. Yeah. And that is like, I think a lot of people need to know that and consider that when they're booking this, because that for me is really the gem of this experience is that island. And so I was a little disappointed there, but we'll talk more and in greater depth about that in a later episode. And we also do have our Disney Cruise Line show, the DCL show, on this channel, where there's going to be a lot more videos with other members of our team that were on that as well. We'll be talking more about the dining and the specific experiences. And I don't want to be really negative about it because you know what? I was still happy overall. I'm fortunate and lucky to have been able to have that experience on these ships and be able to do it with who I did and be able to do the things that I did on this cruise. So I do feel very lucky and fortunate to have been able to see Lookout Key on the island of Eleuthera, and just have been able to have had the privilege and the pleasure to have been able to have been on a cruise. I just, I'm very weary about people. I would be
wasn't a cheap cruise
I'm
either.
also not saying don't do a Disney cruise. I'm saying this ship, this cruise. Like, I would spend that money on a different ship with Disney Cruise Line on a different, okay, before I go, one of the big things that I was really noticeable, you're telling me the Wish is going to sail out to Lookout Key. It was mobbed at Lookout Key, the food area and the places to sit. I was like, this is a lot. And I was like, you're telling me a bigger ship is going to come here? When that ship is full and it goes to that island, that is
to be fair, too. There was a cast member on Lookout that saw that we were a group of, 2 or 3 adults. And she was like, go over to Serenity Bay because these two are too full. They're getting really full. So that was nice that they have somebody, on the lookout at Lookout Key to make sure that people are for crowd management. And then when we did go over to Serenity Bay's barbecue a little bit later in the day, and it was definitely a lot less people. So there was a lot of young families on this sailing specifically. Yeah. So just look out for time of year. Some people still might like the fantasy. I still enjoy the fantasy. I definitely think the treasure and I think probably the magic might take over that spot on my rankings list. So yeah.
The Magic is the only ship I haven't been on now. We found my cruise line history, and so that's where I'm like, I've got to experience that. I got to do the trifecta.
I haven't done the Wonder, so
I haven't done the Wonder since I was 10.
I want to go on the Wonder because I want to do the Alaska cruise. But send me on the Magic through Alaska, so that way I can
there you go.
I'll double. Okay, well, that is going to do it for this episode of the Diz Unlimited. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. Again, if you are watching this on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. If you click that bell, you get notified whenever we upload any sort of content on here. And if you are listening to this podcast, please rate and review the podcast whenever you have that opportunity, wherever you are consuming it. For our Patreon supporters, if you want to stay tuned, we will be doing our live Patreon post show in just a few moments following the conclusion of this broadcast. But again, thank you for your continued support out there, everybody, our Patreon supporters, everybody watching or listening to this show, everybody that books Dreams Unlimited Travel. We couldn't do this without you. So thank you very much. Please feel free to leave some comments on this video if you're watching this about future show topics or more information you'd like about different areas of Disney. Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney World, the living area. If everyone who watches and does this show wants to start a fund, maybe like $10 per person, we could get like a shared Cotina, whatever it's called, Cortina, living place. Would enjoy that. So let's manifest. But thank you, everybody. I hope that you are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and we will see you next time with another episode of the Diz Unlimited podcast. Bye, everyone.
Bye.